Hi guys, welcome. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen, welcome. So I did a video on the relationship between Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton a few weeks ago, looking at the numbers in their numerological birth charts and seeing what the relationship between these two people is likely like based on the numbers in their chart. And so I'm going to do the same for Prince William and Prince Harry today. We're going to take a look at their numerological birth charts and see what kind of relationship they most likely have based on the numbers in their chart. And we're going to see if these rumors about there being a feud between the two of them, if these are likely to be true based on the numbers in these charts. Because there's a lot that you can tell about two people by looking at the numbers in their charts. You can see how compatible they are likely to be with each other and what kind of relationship they are most likely to have. And so I want to tell you beforehand that everything I tell you today is going to be completely objective and just based on the numbers that I see in these charts. My personal opinion about these two is completely neutral. I don't know a lot of information about them. I don't know a lot of information about celebrities in general because I really don't pay attention to celebrities in the news and I don't keep up with what's going on in their lives. So everything I tell you is completely objective and just based on these numbers. So I apologize if there's something that I say that triggers you. That's not my intention. Sometimes that happens. And you don't have to know anything about numerology in order to watch this video today. I'm going to break it down and make it very simple. These are the four most important numbers in a numerology chart. The life path number is the most important number because it is your main purpose in life and the main reason you were born. The expression number is the way you express yourself to the world and how other people see you. The soul's urge number is your soul's purpose and basically what brings you happiness in life. And the birthday number is the skills, talents, and abilities that you come down into this lifetime with to support your life's purpose. I have already gone ahead and calculated these charts ahead of time in order to save time. If you want to calculate these charts on your own to verify the information, you can use the apps that I will leave links to below that will calculate this information for you. You just put in the birth date and the full name on a birth certificate and it will calculate a chart for you. Or you can check out the video that I made about how to calculate your number chart. So I will leave a link to that video below in the description box, and I will also leave the information for the full names on Prince William and Prince Harry's birth certificates as well as their birth dates down below in the description box. So let's talk about Prince Harry first, and then we'll talk about Prince William, and then we'll talk about what kind of relationship these two brothers most likely have with each other. So Prince Harry's life path number is a number 1. And 1 in numerology represents independence and it represents leadership, as you can see from the number meanings of number 1. So number 1 in numerology is the very first number, and so it represents the individual. And as you can see from some of the positive characteristics of number 1, it also represents individualism, independence, leadership, confidence, creativity, originality, uniqueness. And the life path number is your main purpose in life. So Harry's main purpose in life is to be independent, to be an individual, to be unique, to be original, and to be a leader. So these people do not like working for other people. They want to be their own boss. They want to be in charge of themselves. Their independence and their individualism is very, very important to them. And if they feel like somebody else is trying to control them, they will try to rebel and they will break free because they need to have their independence and they need to have control and autonomy over themselves. That's one of the main purposes why they're here. And these people are often trailblazers. They like to do things that are against tradition. They like to break tradition. And we see this a lot with Harry. We see all of these characteristics. These people are very bold, they're very spontaneous, they're very brave, they make bold, courageous moves, and they will do it out of nowhere. So they're very spontaneous with their actions. And we see this with Harry. He seems very spontaneous, he seems very brave. Harry stepped down from his position in the royal family to break free and kind of do his own thing on his own, to not have to work for somebody else. And that is the kind of thing you will see a number 1 do. They want to break tradition. They want to go their own way. They want to do their own thing that is unique and original and different that nobody else has done before. And so They can be very rebellious in that regard. And we definitely see this with Harry. He's kind of been the rebel of his family his whole life. And so he definitely represents the qualities of a number one. These people do not like working for other people, even if that is a family member. They don't want to work for somebody else. They want to work for themselves. And sometimes they can have problems with authority figures. So that's very common with them. And so if we look at all of these characteristics of the life path number one, it partially explains part of the reason why Harry stepped down from his position in the royal family. If you want to find out the full reason why that happened, you can check out my video on that. I will leave a link to that below. And it also partially explains part of the reason why he chose Meghan Markle. She's definitely not the traditional type of person that a prince typically would go for. And, ones are very non-traditional. They like to break tradition. They're rebellious. So that explains part of the reason why he chose her. Now, if you want to find out the full reason, you can check out that video that I did on their relationship. I will put a link to that video below. So now let's take a look at Prince William's chart. And Prince William's life path number is a number 11, which is a master number. And so all of the other numbers, we add them together until we get a single digit. But with the master numbers, we don't do that. There are only 3 master numbers, and 11 is one of them. And this is a master number, so we do not add the 2 numbers together. So let's take a look at the meanings of master number 11. So 11 represents bringing inspiration to other people. So often people that are very visible to the public will have this number because these people are meant to inspire other people in some sort of way. And all of the master numbers are meant to have some sort of great impact or to do something of significance in the world in some sort of way. And for 11s, they are supposed to do something that is very unique, and they are supposed to do something that is very original that nobody has ever done before. And also, leadership is very, very important to the number 11 because it has the 2 ones in this number. Often we will see leaders of countries with this number. So in the United States, Ronald Reagan was a life path number 11. Bill Clinton is a life path number 11. Very common to see leaders with this number. And so I'm not surprised to see Prince William with this life path number because he's going to be the future king of England. He's going to be the king of a country, the figurehead of the United Kingdom. So I'm not surprised to see that he has a life path number 11. And because 11 is all about doing something unique and different that nobody has ever done before because of that double 1 energy, he will most likely be a king that is very different than any other king that we have seen before. So he's going to be a big change from what we've seen in the past. And by doing that, he will make an impact on the world in his own way because that's what the master numbers are supposed to do. They're supposed to make an impact. And so now let's talk about the relationship between William and Harry. What is it likely to be like based on these numbers? Well, both of them have a lot of 1 energy going on. As you can see, Harry is a life path number 1 and William is an 11, but the 11 has 2 ones in it, so it has the double energy of the 1. So that tells me that these two both want to be leaders. They both want to be on top because ones are all about being at the top. I mean, it makes sense, right, that a number 1 would want to be number 1. So that is probably likely to cause some conflict because both of them want to be number 1. And typically ones have bigger egos than the other numbers because they know that they're supposed to be the leader. They know they're supposed to be the one on top. And so they will typically have bigger egos than the other numbers. And so because of that, it's very likely that both of these two have big egos. And in William's case, it doesn't really matter as much because he knows he's going to become the king someday. He knows that he's first in line and he's at the top. But in Harry's case, that ego might actually cause problems because it might have bothered him his whole entire life, seeing that his brother is the one that is first in line, seeing that his brother is the one that is going to become the king someday. And, there's probably always been some sort of special treatment towards William because of that. And that can be very difficult for a 1 to see that happening because the 1 wants to be on top. They want to be the leader. They want to be the first. And so it's very possible that this might have bothered Harry his whole entire life and hurt his ego his whole entire life. So this probably hadn't been a problem for Harry until he was expected to start working for the family. Because as I mentioned before, ones don't want to work for other people. They want to be their own boss. They want to do their own thing. So this probably didn't become an issue for Harry until he was expected to start working for the family firm and to start doing his royal duties. Then this probably started to become a problem for him. And this probably caused huge friction between the brothers and may have even been what started the feud. And it probably encouraged Harry even more to break free and to do his own thing. Now, in William's case, William is a master number 11, so he does have that double 1 energy, but he also has the energy of the number 2, because even though we don't add the 2 ones together, the 11 still has the energy of the number 2, because if you add 1 and 1 together, you get a 2. 2s are all about cooperation, peace, balance, and harmony. And so 11s tend to have a lot of this energy as well. As you can see from this chart, on the positive side, 11s make great counselors and they make really good mediators because they have that 2 energy. They really want to cooperate and they really want to get along with other people. And in some cases, they can be people pleasers and they can be pushovers if they haven't come into that 1 energy yet. If they still haven't fully adopted that 1 energy, they can still be on the more of the 2 side, which is, wanting balance with one other person, wanting to be cooperative and wanting to people please. So William has that energy within him because he is an 11. And also, William has 2 11s in his chart. So as you can see, his soul's urge number is an 11. And the soul's urge number is what makes you happy in life and what brings you happiness. So cooperating and getting along with other people and just going with the flow is probably very, very important to William. And it probably brings him a lot of happiness in life because his soul's urge number is an 11 and he has an imbalance of this number because he has 2 11s in his chart. And anytime you have 2 of the same number, you have an imbalance of that number. So it's very likely that when Harry started to want to break away from the family and start to do his own thing, that this probably brought a lot of conflict to William. And he probably was thinking, well, why doesn't Harry just want to go with the flow? Why doesn't he just do what is expected of him? And he probably thought that Harry's behavior was causing friction in the family and disrupting the harmony. It probably caused a lot of confusion to him because cooperation and harmony is very important to him and going with the flow is very important to him. So when Harry didn't want to go with the flow anymore and just do what is expected of him and started to do his own thing, which includes starting his own family, this probably caused a lot of mental turmoil to Prince William. And it probably caused him a lot of anxiety as well. So as you can see from the number 11 chart, one of the negative sides of the number 11 is that these people do tend to have a lot of anxiety and they do tend to stress about things a lot and they have really great expectations for themselves. And they also can go through a lot of mental turmoil and they can be very worrisome. So worry is very, very common with 11s. They worry about a lot of things. And so cooperation with other people is very important to them. And if they don't have that, if they don't have harmony, if they don't have cooperation with other people, then this can cause them a lot of anxiety and it can cause them a lot of worry and discontent. Now, William has that independent 1 energy like Harry does, but because of this 2 energy, it balances him out a little bit more and it makes cooperation and harmony with other people very, very important and more important to him than it is likely to be with Harry. Now, Harry doesn't have this 2 energy going on with him anywhere in his chart. So cooperation is not going to be something that's important to Harry. Going with the flow and just doing what is expected of you and falling in line is not going to be something that is important to him, and it's not going to be something that he wants to do because his life path number is a number 1 and he doesn't have any 2 energy in his chart like William does. So this probably was one of the reasons why he felt like he needed to break away, and also one of the reasons why William probably didn't quite understand why he needed to break away because William does have that 2 energy in his chart. And also, William probably felt like it was important for him to go with the flow because it was going to lead to something someday. You know, he's going to be the king someday. But Harry's not in that situation. Harry's not going to be the king someday. So he was probably thinking, well, why should I go with the flow? Why should I be doing what's expected of me if it's not going to lead to anything? So that probably also caused friction between them as well. And also, if it seemed like in Harry's mind, like William or the family was trying to control him, then that probably made him want to break free even more, because once ones feel like somebody is trying to control them and tell them what to do, then they will rebel. They do not like authority, and they do not like being told what to do. And if they care about someone, they might go along with it in the beginning, but eventually they will rebel and they will try to break free if they feel like somebody is trying to control them. Also, take a look at Harry's soul's urge number. His soul's urge number is a number 9, and 9 in numerology is the very last number. So we don't count the master numbers because those are special numbers. But all other numbers can be added together until you get a single digit, and 9 is the very last number, and because it is the last number in numerology, it often represents endings and finality. So one of the things that brings Harry happiness in life is having an ending and bringing things to an end, and that includes relationships also. Because remember, the soul's urge number is what makes you happy and what brings you happiness in life. So endings is one of the things that is represented by the number 9, so having a good ending to a relationship is something that he's okay with. That brings him happiness. So he's okay with things coming to an end. Whereas William is not, because his soul's urge number is an 11, which has the energy of number 2. And 2 is all about balance and cooperation and harmony. So there is probably friction between them based on what I have showed you. And it's probably really bothering William. It's probably bringing him a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. Whereas with Harry, he's probably dealing with it a lot better because he's okay with endings and he's okay with, bringing things to an end a little bit more than William is. And by the way, I wanted to mention also that this could cause potential problems in the relationship between him and Meghan Markle in the future, because he does have this number as his soul's urge number. And I also wanted to mention that she has the same soul's urge number as him as well. So keep that in mind in the future, because that could cause a lot of problems between those two. And also I wanted to point out that 9 is the number of humanitarianism because it represents all of humanity, 1 being the number of the individual and 9 being the number of everybody. Harry is a humanitarian, and this also probably brings him a lot of happiness as well. And we see this with him, with this soul's urge number. So all of this friction between the two of them caused by Harry wanting to just be his own individual and kind of break away and do his own thing. All of this friction, like I said, probably is causing a lot of anxiety within William. It's probably really bothering him a lot. And eventually this will drive him to be the peacemaker between the two of them, because 11s are counselors, they are mediators, they are bridges. They like to be the bridge between two sides. They can be very diplomatic because they have that 2 energy. And so I could see him eventually trying to make peace between the two of them, bridge the two sides together and become the peacemaker in this situation. And William will need to do that. He will need to be the one to be the peacemaker and to put his ego aside and to tell Harry that it's okay that you are doing your own thing right now. Go ahead and be your own person. And, I'm okay with that. I like things to go with the flow, and I like for there to be harmony and to just do what is expected of you. But hey, Harry, you want to be your own person. I'm going to let you do that and kind of just be, the better person in this situation and be the peacemaker between the two of them. And he is the older brother with more power, so he should be the one to do that. And to step up and take a leadership position, because that's the kind of thing that a leader would do. So he will need to be the one to do that for this relationship to be mended and to be healed. And I could see him doing that. I could see him doing that in the future. But it's very important for this relationship to be healed, for him to let Harry know that what he's doing right now is okay, and to not try to control Harry. Because if he tries to control Harry, Harry is going to want to rebel, because ones will not be controlled by anybody. They are very independent. They are very individualistic, and they are rebels, and they don't like authority. And they will rebel against authority if they feel like somebody is trying to dominate them and tell them what to do. If they really like someone, they might go along with it in the beginning, but eventually they always break free. And in order for this relationship to be mended, William will have to let Harry know that that's not what he's trying to do, and that's not the intention of the family, and that he's okay with what Harry is doing right now, and he will have to be the peacemaker. And if he can do that, this relationship will be healed. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry. Do you think that these two have a feud with each other? What do you think the relationship between these two brothers is likely to be like? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And if you want to check out my services, I will leave the information to that below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I would love to have you subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I am sending you light and love. Take care.